The Galaxy S26 Ultra is already being called one of Samsung's most anticipated flagships, packed with talk of slimmer dimensions, brighter screens, improved cameras, and faster charging. But with all these upgrades, a big question hangs in the air. Should Samsung raise the price beyond the $1,299 tag of the S25 Ultra? Honestly, the short answer is no. And the reasons behind that become clearer once you break things down. Smartphones have reached a point where yearly improvements feel more like refinements than revolutions. The days of dramatic leaps in power, design, or innovation are fading. Instead, buyers get slightly faster processors, marginally brighter displays, and modestly better cameras. The industry has hit what many call a plateau. So while Samsung is highlighting the S26 Ultra as a meaningful upgrade, the changes don't feel strong enough to justify a higher price. Interestingly, the main reason for a possible price bump doesn't even lie in the phone's hardware. Rising chip production costs are the real culprit. TSMC, the giant behind chips for Qualcomm and MediaTek, has increased prices of its 3nm wafers 16% higher for Qualcomm and 24% higher for MediaTek. Naturally, those costs trickle down to consumers, which could make phones like the S26 Ultra or future iPhones more expensive. But Samsung may choose a different route. Instead of relying on Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, rumors suggest the S26 Ultra could debut with Samsung's in-house Exynos 2600 chip. This is where things get controversial. Exynos chips have a history of trailing Snapdragon in performance and efficiency, with heat issues frustrating users for years. Many buyers actively avoided Exynos-powered phones in favor of Snapdragon models. On paper, however, the Exynos 2600 doesn't look bad. Built on Samsung's advanced 2nm GAA process, it would actually leap ahead of competitors' 3nm chips. Early leaks hint at a 10-core CPU and Eclipse 960 GPU that may outperform Snapdragon's Adreno 830 by 15%. Improved thermals could also fix the overheating problem that plagued past Exynos models. Technically impressive, yes, but the question is whether people will trust it. And that's exactly why Samsung shouldn't raise prices. If the S26 Ultra does indeed use Exynos, production costs will likely be lower than Snapdragon versions. Asking buyers to pay more while giving them a chipset many still see as inferior would only upset loyal customers. Until Samsung proves otherwise, Exynos remains a risky bet, and higher pricing could easily backfire. Now let's talk upgrades, which is good but nowhere near game-changing. Samsung's bumped might cut charging time to under an hour, which feels outdated in 2025 for a premium flagship. The display is expected to stretch to 6.89 inches, featuring Samsung's new M14 OLED material. This should deliver sharper visuals, improved efficiency, and longer durability. Add rumored Flex Magic Pixel technology for privacy and better angles, along with color enhancements through code, and you've got a display that's undeniably stronger. Still, these are refinements rather than jaw-dropping innovations. On the camera side, Samsung might introduce a new 200MP main sensor with better low-light results and natural background blur. Other lenses may remain close to the S25 Ultra setup, but a 50MP for X-telephoto lens and faster optics could add more flexibility. Cameras will stay one of Samsung's strongest areas, though it's fair to say the S25 Ultra already set a very high bar in photography. Design-wise, reports suggest the S26 Ultra could slim down by about 0.4 mm, keeping the squared profile and flat edges. While it might feel slightly sleeker in hand, that's a small change most won't notice. These upgrades, while nice, don't scream worth more than $1,299. If anything, Samsung should aim to maintain or even reduce the price, especially if the cost savings from using Exynos are real. At the end of the day, $1,299 is already a massive price for a smartphone. Buyers expect big leaps for that kind of money, not incremental tweaks dressed up as groundbreaking features. If Samsung pushes the cost even higher, no amount of marketing buzzwords like premium or next-gen will convince people to celebrate. The risk is clear: customers may start questioning whether the Ultra is still worth it. That doesn't mean the Galaxy S26 Ultra won't be a great phone. It will almost certainly be powerful, polished, and feature-packed. But greatness doesn't always justify higher prices. If Samsung keeps the cost the same or better yet, lowers it, this phone could be one of 2026's best sellers. But if they push it higher without enough innovation, they may test the patience of even their most loyal fans.